RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What the hell? Freaking camera. What's happening in my life? The fucking camera. Hello, everybody. My name is Tara Devlin. Why isn't my camera working? I don't know, everybody. God, thank you for joining. I'm glad this is a friggin', this is the test run right now. Thom Hartmann's coming on the show at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna call him, and hopefully everything will fall into place. Hopefully it won't. Shit like that won't happen. My camera, whatever, who cares, right? As long as you can see me. This is not the actual... There's two parts to this camera. There's the Lumina Plus and the Lumina Raw. Now we're seeing the Lumina Raw. It's supposed to be the Lumina Plus. But who cares, right? Beggars can't be choosers, so... If you want to ever have Lumina Plus camera, become a patron. Just kidding. At patreon.com/Tara. I'm only kidding. I'm not kidding, but I am. I'm really not, but please, yes, become a patron. But I am kidding now about that. Oh, look, it's working. Okay, good. I figured let's start the show. I'm not in the great... I'm telling you, if Thom Hartmann wasn't coming on the show tonight, I'd probably be in bed right now. I've been not well the past couple of days. I think you guys know I've been battling some illness. I don't know. It's getting the better of me. So I've been I was sick Monday. I was kind of just sleeping. And then I have these two effing kittens that I'm trying to socialize, and they hate my guts. So it's not, things aren't working out the way I planned. I hope these kittens get with the program soon. It's really getting annoying. But what am I gonna do? Right? I gotta keep going. But yep. All right, guys. Let's see. We got a chat room filling up at youtube.com/C4channel/Tarabuster. And thank you, Winston. On the chat says it looks good to me. Sound quality is good. Thank you. Let's hope that the Skype is working when we call Tom, because I'm going to call him at 9, and then we will also... I have the backup phone system if Skype isn't working, because you know how that is. Uh-oh. Here comes trouble now, right? You see what I'm saying? It's the being a cat lady thing is not working out. All right, Junior, get it out of your system now. Yeah, these two bastards in my bedroom, the salty and spicy, the two bastards, they really are bastards. I feel bad for them. They were on that 3-month precipice. It's after 2 months, it's hard to socialize a kitten, but it's not a lost cause. Spicy hates me. That's all I can say. It doesn't feel good when a cat hates you. And I'm trying to save his fucking ass from being frozen out there in the New York winter. Whatever. And So Winston says, I've taken in kittens like that before. Little ones born under a pickup in a field. Did they ever come around, Winston? I've been feeding them out of my hand. Salty's better. Salty's a little better. She does not bite or scratch me. But Spicy is, whenever I go he doesn't bite me anymore. He's done a number on me. He's bitten me, and I have the scars to prove it. And it's really annoying. And, because you always gotta be like, it's fine. Fucking respond with love. Of course I do. He's just a kitten. He's a dumbass. What does he know? But Spicy, whenever I go near him, he hisses and he looks. His ears go back. He wants to. He's afraid. But I've been feeding him out of my hand. But they don't play. That's the other thing. They don't play. That's not good. All right. You guys are going to have to help me. I've been doing a lot of research on this, too. This is really, I have to tell you, the first time that I've taken in kittens that were this salty and spicy. So, usually I think, oh shit, now I got something in my eye. They've come around. All the cats, I've been very lucky, I have to say. All the animals I've rescued have turned out to be friendly. I mean, I took in Ray off the street, and he was older than them, and he was friendly on the first day. He was scared, but he was, you could see. He was never aggressive. And that's why I kept him. And I'm glad I did. Okay, now I can't see. Okay, this sucks. Now I got fucking something in my eye. Great. Don't tell Thom Hartmann. All right, listen, guys. All right, I figured I'm in a mood, so it's also fun, sometimes when I'm in a mood. So you guys understand and see, Jim he's super chatting. It doesn't matter that I'm about to collapse, and I appreciate that. And thank you, Mark C. Mark C says, democracy may be on the line, but we've got the cons on the ropes, and that's for sure. It is. It's going to be good. It's, we do live in interesting times. I cannot wait for the con man to be arrested. Let him do it. Hurry up already. Lock him up. He is a traitor. What would any of us, I got you guys, I was in the National Guard. I had to go through security clearance because my MOS was in intelligence, and I had, not that I really ever did anything, but they do a thorough background check. They come and they interview your neighbors, they interview your family, they go to your job. They're not kidding around. They go through your life with a fine-tooth comb, and I keep thinking about if I walked away with classified documents, would I be free right now? I mean, what about reality winner? People like that who aren't powerful and connected. Right? She went to jail. All right, let me put him down. And what she was doing was trying to help the country. And what was Trump doing with top secret documents? Beyond secret, the kinds of documents that you have to be in a location to read. You can't say, I'm going to do my homework on the bus going home. I'm going to work from home. And anybody believe that Trump worked from home? He never fucking worked a day in his life. He's a grifter, a con man, a disgusting con man. Oh, really? JD on the chat says multi-generational feral cats make socializing much harder and much more for the more difficult kittens. Do you think it's in their genes? Maybe mamas, it's many generations of feral out in the genes. It could be. They're still on the smallish side, of course. They're only 3 months, but not tiny. Salty has very good possibilities. She doesn't bite. She doesn't want to kill me. She's very cute. I sing songs to her. I sing, Salty is a very good friend of mine. And she looks at me like a little, with her stupid eyes. Now, who's the stupid one, though, right? Me. And Spicy, he wants me dead. He wants me dead. He wants to rip out my throat. And except when I'm giving him treats, then he immediately comes around. That's the other thing. He'll, as soon as I touch him on the nose, because that's how you say hello. It is. It's true. That's how you say hello to cats, because they touch each other's noses. You touch their nose. Take my word for it. And he immediately calms down. It's like, oh, it's you. Okay, all right, I can tolerate you. That bitch. And then he goes right. It's like I have PTSD. Really, I do. Hold on, I should lower that. I have PTSD going into my own room because when I go in there, all I hear are fucking two cats snaking out, like I got some goddamn snakes in there. It's like I can't move. Like, God, at least they've been quiet at night and they've allowed me to sleep. But all right, whatever. Let's stop talking about them. I'm sure they'll come up again in conversation with Thom Hartmann. No, just kidding. I won't. And let's see. Where? Yeah. Taking his job home with him? Oh, Haiku says work from home. Took to read at night? That's how you know it's a lie. Trump read? Of course he didn't read. What are you doing reading? Nuclear secrets. What are you doing reading about the sex life of the French prime minister? This is the shit he had. Why would you take that? Because you want to show Putin, perhaps? Yeah, that's why. Because you want to be a big... Who is the undignified con man troll, the walking hunk of hamburger meat? I don't know what he is. He's not hamburger meat. He's like hot dog. He's like a hot dog shoved in an orange film. He's disgusting. But he literally tweeted years ago, before he became the so-called president, despite receiving fewer votes, he tweeted, "Can Putin be my best friend? Can Putin be my best friend? Do you have any dignity? No. Because that's all that matters. This is why this country is swirling the bowl right now. You understand this. I've explained this to you guys before. You know this. Because Trump is embarrassed in front of Putin. That's why he can't let go. He's not man enough to admit he lost. He knows he lost. I mean, he might be at this moment the kind of liar who tells the lies so much he might believe it. He's like a sociopath. That's what they do. He is a sociopath. But he cannot admit that he lost, because that means that he is diminished in Putin's eyes. He has no allegiance to this country. He never did. Neither do any of these Republicans in the catbird seat of power, the billionaires, the ones who we're going to talk about with Thom Hartmann in his new book. Where is it? The Hidden History of Neoliberalism. This is the decline and fall of Western civilization, it should be called. And it's right out there in the open. And you know why it's hidden? The hidden history. It's because it's here. It's right. It's like the fish doesn't know it's swimming in water, does it? Many of the American people don't realize that they're struggling on the wrong side of Reaganomics. They don't know a life in a economically vibrant and upwardly mobile working class majority that glimpse we had from the New Deal was dismantled by neoliberalism, which is it's Reaganomics. It's trickle down. It's another grift. The whole thing is a grift. Yeah. So Trump has a Friday rally. Oh shit. Oh yeah. Jim on the chat says, yeah, he's a greasy snake. Jim on the chat also says, is 5 cats enough yet? These two are not, they're just passing through. They're just passing through. 5 cats is more than enough. There's really only 4 here because if you count the kittens, it's like 1 cat. 1 schizophrenic cat. And then the 3. I mean, 3 is enough. I always used to say my limit was 2 because the road to the crazy cat lady is like a slippery slope, right? And there had to be a time in the crazy cat lady's life when she was like, why not? What would another one hurt? Sure. Right? And then, it's all downhill. That's me. That's going to be me. I see that happening. I'm transforming into it's almost, I can't help it. It becomes an inevitable self-fulfilling prophecy. Because then people in my life, they all buy me everything cat related. So there's like cat glasses, cat friggin' trays, cat whatever, cat blanket, cat pictures, right? That's what happened. My sister got me a big picture of Tara Jr. It's very nice. Tara Jr., I should say. So you come in my house, you're like, all right, the fucking cat lady lives here. Of course. Well, I guess it's inevitable. What am I going to do? I can't. I got to talk to my shrink about this more. This is not good. Okay. I'm looking at the time. As long as Trump runs free and has his Nazi salute rallies, our country will continue to be diminished by the day, Mark C. on the chat says. You're absolutely right. And let me see if I can find this now that you're reminding me of, because there was a Trump rally the other day. And that's because Trump is a malignant narcissist, and we know this. I've explained it. He needs his narcissistic supply, and they are sick. And there's this TV show I watched when I was sick. Actually, I probably shouldn't have watched half of it because it was making me scared. It was called something about the mind of a serial killer. I've been watching all these serial killer documentaries. It's not good either. It's poisoning my brain. And but they did a couple of episodes on Jim Jones, and I watched it just to think about Trump, because that's what's happening. That's what is happening to these cultists. Let's see, Trump cult on Twitter. I'm trying to find this video of the Trump rally where they're all waving their hands at him. If you've ever gone to an evangelical church, that's what they do. They lift their hands up in prayer, or seen it on TV. And when I was in the Army, when I was in basic training, it was probably the last time I went to church regularly, only because there was nothing else to do. On Sundays, there was nothing to do. We couldn't leave the base, and we couldn't even leave our little area. And the only thing you could do was go to chow and you couldn't hang out in the chow hall. So you could go to church, and you couldn't hang out in the barracks. There was nothing. You could do nothing, really. You could do nothing all day on Sundays. It really sucked. So I would sit in the church. And it's not a church. It was like a giant auditorium, because everybody was there for the most part. And they really, were into it. It was kind of fascinating. I was there almost like as an anthropological study, watching people in their element. And they were singing all these religious Jesus songs, rock and roll Jesus songs. And people were like, had their hands. This is in the fucking army, right? God help me. Well, the Air Force is supposed to be worse. So let's see. Trump cult, Jim Jones. Let's see what comes up. Now, my only wish is that they do the full Jim Jones. They go full effect. Right? And they would. They absolutely would. If he asked them to. Only I can save you. Only I can fix it. And then on Twitter, they were showing segments of the rally. The open to whatever, the graphic open to the rally with the heavenly music and the pictures of Trump in the clouds, Save America. It's really sick, and it will be studied by future generations. They will look back like we look back on the Hitler rallies, except those were more well attended. Where is it? Yeah, look. Right here. Look at this. Look at them all. With their hands in the air. And at this moment when they were all praying at Trump, they were saying, Trump was going on about how it would never have happened. Ukraine would never have been invaded. This would, whatever the troubles were, the chaos, the hellscape we're supposedly living in now. None of it would have happened if Trump, because, wasn't robbed of his birthright to be our ruler, despite receiving fewer votes. It's really, it's incredible. So, never forget. The other thing I keep seeing on Twitter and whatnot with these Trumpanzees, they are very offended about being called fascists. Oh wait, here it is.
Never have happened with me as your. We are a nation that allowed Russia to devastate a country, Ukraine, killing hundreds of thousands of people.
Like you withheld the weapons because you wanted him to stir up dirt against your political opponent. Oh.
And it will only get worse. It would never have happened with me as your commander-in-chief.
Yeah,
and for 4 long years, it didn't happen. And China, with Taiwan, is next. We are a nation that has weaponized its law enforcement against the opposing political party.
What?
Like never, ever before.
Like ever, never, ever
We've got
seen.
a
Look at this shit.
Bureau of Investigation that won't allow bad election-changing facts to be presented to the public.
Oh, get him out of
where
here,
Hunter
please.
Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation when they knew it wasn't.
God.
And a Department of Justice that refuses to investigate egregious acts of voting
Hunter Biden's
irregularities and
laptop?
fraud. And we have a president who is
Look at that
cognitively
woman.
impaired.
What are you doing?
And in no condition to lead our country, which
Cognitively impaired? Oh my God, these fucking people. Somebody, please, I hope they rise up. Please rise up. Please start your shit again, and we will crush you legally and peacefully and within an inch of your life without apology. Please, please. They are doing us a favor, weeding themselves out. Expose yourself for the traitors you are, because that's what they're doing. There's no hope for these people. And this guy, who's this Blacks for Trump guy? It should say Black for Trump, of course, because it's one dude all the time behind him. Does he have a job, this guy? I guess that is his job, because he follows Trump all over the country and stands behind him with that stupid sign. These people should be embarrassed, but they're too stupid to know that they should be embarrassed. I'm tired of treating them like they're not the traitorous, embarrassing albatrosses around our national necks that they are. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the corporate media giving them, they just enabling it, giving them the benefit of the doubt. They're dumb. And beyond that, they're dangerous. A dangerous cult wedded to this filthy con man, this traitorous, greed-centered ghoul who is a filthy, sociopathic liar. And all of his worthless, useless life, you would think there would be something for him to show that would be beneficial to humanity, right? There would be one thing at least. But there's not. Everywhere you look, there's crimes, there's lies, there's grifting, there's taking advantage of people who have no power, stiffing people, stealing their labor, inflicting campaigns of harassment against tenants, and then doing nothing but robbing the American people. Robbing like a parasite, like a bloated effing Jabba the Hutt parasite. God bless you, Letitia James. Everybody should, go after this fucker. He needs to be in jail. What is taking you so long, Justice Department? Why is he out? Why are they allowed to do podcasts? Spreading their lies. The nonstop lies. And God help us. That's the thing. If these filthy traitors, if these filthy Republicans win, quote unquote, despite receiving fewer votes, if they win the House or the Senate, God help us. You know how many Hunter Biden laptop hearings we're going to have to endure? Hunter Biden, I keep seeing all over Twitter, too. They're like, no one's investigating Hunter Biden's laptop for national security. Well, Hunter Biden was never an advisor to the president. Does Hunter Biden have classified secrets on his laptop? What's on his laptop? Nobody could say what's on his laptop. It's just this ubiquitous term, Hunter Biden's laptop. It's like a Rorschach test to see how crazy you are, how you react to it. If you react to it like a normal person, then you're in the clear. You're okay. You're sane. A normal person being like, what are you talking about? What is on the laptop? There's nothing on. It's like everything else they talk about. They never go into specifics. What's on the laptop? What is it? Do they ever explain? Because they got nothing. It's like the election lies that you notice, and it's also everything else that they talk about with the lie. Everything is a lie. They go to court, they sue, they try to get this special master to give Trump back classified documents that weren't his to begin with. They belong to us, the American people. But they didn't, they go on the media, they go on all their propaganda outlets saying how they're, he declassified everything. But funny enough, it's not in any of their legal filings. Wouldn't you think they would use that as their defense if that's what they're telling the idiots stupid enough to be their narcissistic supply. I'm just looking at the time. That's why we're going to hop on over to Skype. I can't take it. We'll go back to that. Maybe. I can't take it. I know, right? They can't even... What is this laptop? Does anybody know what's on this freaking laptop? I can't take it. Hunter Biden's evil laptop. Well, that's what they say. The evil lap... What's on it? What's on it? Jesus Christ. I hope... Can he stroke out? See, but that would be too easy. I would feel disappointed if he just stroked out. He needs to go to jail. He needs to be accountable. That's what the Republicans are hoping. They are secretly hoping he strokes out. They know that. They've said that behind closed doors. The Republican Party plan is for Trump to croak. And he just keeps going. But that's not a plan. So they could turn him into a martyr. So they could continue to sell merch with his filthy face on it. You people should be. I mean, these Trumpanzees should be embarrassed. They should really be embarrassed, but they're not smart enough to know they should. All right, I better calm down. I'm gonna call Thom Hartmann in 1 minute. Should we try to call him now? What? Ooh, what? See, I'm yawning. It's a great show. Great show we got here. Right. Hunter Biden is not in power. Repeat this to your right-wing uncle. Although Uncle Nutbag probably wouldn't listen anyway. Exactly, Mark. Exactly. Mark C on the chat. All right. I guess I should try him now. Things are going to start happening to me now. That's from the jerk. Okay. Add Tom. Let's do it. I don't hear any ringing though. That's the problem. Tom. All right. Hello. Yay. I gotcha. Wait, hold on a second. I got to put you on the air here. I hope I can do it properly. There we go. It's working. Hold on. It's working. It was working. Son of a bitch. I'm trying to do split screen. There we go. See, I've done this show before, It takes practice. I'll keep getting better. Thank you, Tom, for coming on the show. It's
Sure.
Really nice to see you again, and thank you for writing yet another amazing and important book, The Hidden History of Neoliberalism, and another one. I love this book because it's so packed with history, and I'm a big history buff, but also this history in particular, it almost feels traumatizing to read because I feel like I was born in the aftermath of Reaganomics. My father was a product of the New Deal. My family lived in a decent middle class life. My father was a garbage man, and because of the New Deal, we were able to have a nice house and go on vacation and whatnot. Except he was a Reagan Democrat, and it would drive me insane. And I feel like, maybe we're coming to the end of that story. I don't know. I hope I live to see it turn around. But I don't know. Where do we begin? Neoliberalism. The term itself, I know, is a little confusing to people because people, they think it's you're talking about liberalism. But what do you mean when you say, what is the term neoliberalism mean?
Yeah, the word, well, to be begin with, the word liberal in the United States, of course, means kind of progressive. In Europe, the word liberal means conservative. Liberal economics in Europe is small government, low taxes, no government interference in the marketplace. What we would call trickle down or economic or Reaganomics or whatever. And so, when these guys got together first in Paris in 1936 and then in Switzerland in the 1940s, and it was a group of economists mostly, and most of them Europeans, with the exception of Milton Friedman. They were trying to figure out how to come up with a way to prevent developed countries, European countries, from ever again doing what had happened in their lifetimes, which was going communist like Russia did, fascist like Spain and Italy and Germany did. And they thought that economics was the answer to it. And they thought that if you could just get government out of the way and let the economists run everything, everything would be beautiful, or let the economy run everything.
Right.
And so they wanted to take European liberalism and amp it up. So this is neo is the Greek prefix that means new. And so this was the new liberalism.
Right.
So it's the
Right.
word. But, we could call it economics if you want. It's the same thing. Reagan, people look at what Reagan did, and they think that he was just throwing stuff against the wall. Oh yeah, let's destroy some unions. Let's cut taxes on rich people. Let's blow up the EPA with Neil Gorsuch's mother, this woman who had to resign in disgrace for threats of prosecution for bribery and things.
Yeah.
No, it was not random. It was not. He was not throwing stuff against the wall. He was following a script, and the script came out of these meetings in Europe in the 1940s. And Milton Friedman had been selling this stuff in the United States for 30 years, and finally Reagan came along and bought it.
And see, I'm of the impression, people say, just like you say, that, or, speculate, that they were sincere in promoting neoliberalism, that it was, it was just a different way to get an economically vibrant and upwardly mobile working class majority. I don't think so. I think it was a way to destroy the working class majority, the uppity working class. They didn't want the chaos of the 60s of the women saying, burning their bras, and people saying, hell no, we won't go to your wars. And that was a way. And it's also reminded me of, who was it who said that his job as the Fed chair was to create a certain level of worker insecurity.
Alan Greenspan.
Yes,
yes. The Wall Street Journal. I'm inclined to believe that they were well-intentioned, although Mises in particular went to great lengths to justify free trade as a neocolonial policy. He talked about how there were master races and there were inferior races, and the white race was the most superior race on the planet, and therefore it had the right. Caucasians had the right to establish outposts in lesser developed countries that people of color and subordinate them the way that England had with, for example. And at the time they came up with this, and India was still owned by England. So there was a fair amount of racism in there, and there was certainly a hell of a lot of classism. But I think that Russell Kirk's stuff that I wrote about in my book on oligarchy, in 1951, he warned Republicans or conservatives, William F. Buckley and Barry Goldwater were his two probably most ardent followers, that if the middle class continued to grow the way it was in 1951, that eventually it would reach the point where women and young people and people of color would forget their place and start demanding more. Yeah. And, he was largely laughed at and ignored throughout the 50s and even the first couple of years of the 60s. But then, the birth control pill was legalized in 61. Birth control was decriminalized by the Supreme Court for single people in 72, couples in 65. You had Roe v. Wade in 73. You had the Vietnam War and young people protesting and smoking. And of course, you had the civil rights movement throughout that era that was getting increasingly militant,
right,
and cities on fire and whatnot. And all of that combined in the early 70s, throughout the 70s, to convince Republicans to go back and read the Russell Kirk from 20 years earlier.
Yeah.
And when Reagan came into office, he felt that part of his mandate was to destroy the middle class, and he did. You know, when Reagan came into office, the middle class represented 65% of Americans, and today it represents 45% of Americans.
Right.
And when Reagan came into office, to be middle class, you could do it with one paycheck. Your dad is a garbage man.
Yeah.
My dad working in a
That's
tool
right.
and die shop. You know, they both worked with their hands. And he raised my dad raised 4 kids, and we took a vacation every year, and he bought a new car every 2 years. And, you know, and he bought a house that he died in, and he could do that.
That's right. Yeah.
Now it takes a 2-income family to
That's
do
right.
that. So
If
it's
that,
not even
exactly.
the same middle class.
Yeah, and in fact, in my family home now, there's a garbage man who lives there with his wife, and they rent their house, now. It's the house I grew up in, because they can't afford to buy a house. Yep. So that's the way things have changed. And
that's the post-Reagan America. We have seen in the last 40 years, Tara, we have seen a $50 trillion transfer of wealth from the pockets and homes and families of the American middle class into the money bins of the top 1%, the morbidly rich.
And it's also, see, as you were talking, I was thinking about that Rush Limbaugh quote, "Some people are born to be slaves." That always strikes me as, that's really the underlying Republican theme in general. And it is really the theme in neoliberalism too, because they're willing to jettison, they're willing to leave people behind. They think that, as like Ayn Rand said, what are some, I'm trying to remember, it's just paraphrasing, that some people are grist to be fuel for those who can use it, or something. She says something like that. And they idolize these people. I mean, Trump literally gave Rush Limbaugh a Medal of Freedom, and he also gave Laffer a Medal of Freedom. Now that I'm thinking about it, the Laffer curve guy, which that's a total scam too.
Yeah, the other neoliberal economist. Yeah.
Right. And so this whole industry of making neoliberalism almost synonymous with freedom and democracy, I think is what, it's great that you wrote this book, so we are talking about it. It's like the cat's out of the bag, and now I think, because the generation who benefited from the New Deal is passing away. And then you have another generation who remembers the economically vibrant middle class, and they are rewriting history. It's almost as if it had nothing to do with government policy. Do you know what I mean? Where I just worked hard and played by the rules. Well, the rules at the time were, like you said, we had a 35% unionized workforce. We had top marginal tax rates of 90%. We were able to go to school without coming out of college as indentured servants, things like that. So it's everything that's stacked against us right now, and young people too, because they live in this. I don't even know how I don't know why they're as can be optimistic in a way, but they are very progressive. And they've grown up in this small world to see, you could see other countries how, if you have health care, if you go to the doctor, you don't have to, it's not Nazism. You're not going to a death panel or whatnot. You know what I mean? So I do believe that, I do believe that we're getting more progressive in general, and maybe we're seeing the end of this. But it still seems like the big if you watch the corporate media, it's as if this is America. Do you know what I mean? This is patriotism. This is freedom, and any challenge to it is oh, well, you just don't like freedom. And I literally heard, what's his name, from Joe Scarborough. Somebody said something about when they were going over to see the Queen funeral or whatever, and they were talking about the American healthcare system, and Joe Scarborough was like, oh, well, that's just not our system. It's like supposedly, oh, well, this is just the way it's supposed to be. So I don't know. It's we certainly have our work cut out for us, but that's the other thing I like about this book too, because you do give credit where credit's due too. I appreciate, when you say that Obama, saving neoliberalism from itself with the ACA, and that I remember that too, because he was probably in my lifetime the most disappointing president. And funny enough, Joe Biden seems to be the most the president I'm most pleasantly surprised by. Really, who would have thought?
Biden's the first president in 50 years to repudiate neoliberalism.
I know, it's great.
Of either party,
right? He seems to be channeling FDR more than Reagan, which, I mean, it used to drive me insane because Obama had the habit of constantly quoting Reagan, and it was like nails on a chalkboard to me. Like, quote FDR. What are you quoting Reagan? But Biden seems to be, he's quoting Reagan. He's quoting FDR, and that's good. So it's hopefully we are seeing, the change that we need. But I know you have some solutions here. What do you think about how will we fix this?
Well, we need to basically deconstruct neoliberalism. When Reagan came into office, and I'm sorry, I can't remember who it was who said this. I just remember seeing it, in 1980 or 80. One of his advisors was on television, and they said, what's your agenda? What's Reagan's agenda here? And again, whether it was David Stockman or Jim Baker, I just can't remember. I'm sorry. But, he said, our goal is to deconstruct the New Deal.
God.
They set out to do that, drop the top tax rate, do away with unions, do away with, regulatory agencies,
right.
Make education expensive,
right.
Price everything in sight. Don't raise the minimum wage. In fact, do away with it if you possibly can. Open the world to so-called free trade.
Right.
So American companies could ditch their high-priced American labor and find dollar labor anywhere they wanted. So I think that my answer to your question is that we need to deconstruct Reaganism. We just need just step by step. I mean, everything that I just mentioned was what Reagan did to undo FDR, and not just Reagan. I mean, right up until the last until 2 years ago. And so we need to raise taxes on the morbidly rich. We need to raise taxes on corporations. And it's not just to raise money, by the way. I mean, when corporations, when the top tax rate on corporations was 52%, when Reagan, corporations had a strong incentive to avoid paying taxes,
right?
Which is a good thing. And because what they would do is they would develop new products with research and development, which is tax deductible. They would open new stores, which is tax deductible. They would pay their employees better, which is tax deductible. They'd offer better benefit packages to their employees, which is tax deductible. All of these things lower their tax bill, and all of these things help grow the economy.
Right.
Since we dropped the top tax rate on big corporations, we've seen very little by way of real significant growth. The decades of the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Those 4 decades, every single one of those 4 decades, you had GDP growth for the entire decade above 3% for the entire decade. We have not seen that since 1980,
right.
and it's because we dropped the top tax rate on corporations. Similarly, when you got a top tax rate above 50% on the morbidly rich, they don't take as much money out of their companies, which leaves more money for the workers. You've got Jeff Bezos, the richest guy in the world, shooting penis-shaped rockets into space. competing with Elon Musk, another rich guy, shooting himself into outer space.
Grotesque,
and
really.
these guys want to pay their employees crap wages and fight unionization tooth and nail.
Yep.
When either one of these guys could end poverty in America tomorrow and still be a billionaire.
That's right.
And I'm not saying that we should therefore confiscate all their money.
Right.
But a top income tax rate that encourages wealthy people to not take so much out of their companies, but keep the companies healthy, is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good social good. So number one, we need to raise the top tax rates. Number two, we need to strengthen labor unions and bring back the right to unionize. Labor unions are democracy in the workplace, and we're really believers in democracy, and we think it's a good thing. We should have it in the workplace as well. And in fact, businesses worked better, and the productivity was higher, and everything was good when you had labor unions. And since Reagan gutted the unions, it's been a disaster. Now we need to break up the giant monopolies. One of the neoliberal things is don't enforce your antitrust laws. Reagan in 1983 instructed the Department of Justice, the Federal Trade Commission, and the Securities and Exchange Commission to stop enforcing the antitrust laws. And that, of course, led to that explosion in the 80s of mergers and acquisitions, the M&A mania, Michael Milken, and Street with Michael Douglas, and greed is good and all this stuff. And the result is that, they stole our pensions.
Yeah.
They busted the unions. They walked off with hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars of middle-class wealth and stashed it in their money bins. And now you've got every industry in the United States is dominated more than 80%, more or less, not all of them, but most of them, well over 80%, by 5 or fewer companies who operate as oligarchies, oligopolies. Excuse me. They if Delta raises their prices $5, United does 30 seconds later. They all track what each other does. So we need to start enforcing the anti-monopoly laws. Biden's talking about that right now, and directing it toward tech. And of course, now your tech companies are running ads on TV going, don't.
Yes. You're stop. Don't stop innovation. Right. I've seen these commercials.
Right. Yeah. We need to bring back free college education, and we need to strengthen public education. Now you've got states that are trying to destroy public education, public schools, trying to replace them with private for-profit schools. But we need to bring back the ability to go to college with a part-time summer job, which is what I did. I didn't graduate, but for a while I did. And we need to strengthen our public schools. We need to make healthcare the commons like every other developed country in the world. This is we were heading down that road when Robert Ball wrote the Medicare bill legislation. He was very clear, and so was Lyndon Johnson. Both of them on the record said that they wrote this legislation so that with a minor tweak, just deleting the sentences that referred to the age 65, it could be a national health care program. Yeah. There it is, Medicare for all. We need to raise the minimum wage and basically do away with slave labor, with poverty wages. Yeah. And finally, and I think one of the most important things is we need to go back to the plan that Alexander Hamilton laid out in 1793 in his or 1791 rather, in his 11-point plan for American manufacturers, also known as the American Plan. Which Reagan abandoned, and go back to a tariff-based protective of American industry trade policy. Right. We need a comprehensive industrial policy for the United States to reindustrialize this country, because that is what produces the wealth of nations. You and I can engage in service stuff all day long. Right. I can wash your car, you can mow my lawn. Right. We pay each other to do it, but we're not producing wealth. Yeah, Adam Smith laid this out in Wealth of Nations in 1776. He said, if a tree limb is laying on the ground in the forest, it has no intrinsic value, but if you add human labor to it and turn it into an axe handle, you now have something that has a measurable, quantifiable value, and it will have that value for decades. Right. That now is part of the wealth of the nation. You can only build wealth through manufacturing. Right. And we shipped 60,000 factories and 15 million jobs to China. Right. All we accomplished was making China rich. Yeah, and a few people at the top too, and exploding, the gap between rich and poor. And I always talk about on my show, what the question should be, what is the meaning of an economy? Is it to make a few people very rich, or
is this whole democracy thing. Isn't this why people died? People put their lives, fortunes, and sacred honor on the line so we could escape the intergenerational aristocracies. That's what they were fighting against in the monarchies. If you were born on third base thinking you hit a triple or whatever, you could become the duke, you would be the lord of this or that, and everybody else just, awaited their reward in heaven. But that's not supposed to be this thing. And it seems like, everywhere you look with the Republicans too, they are whittling away at the pillars of democracy. And and it really is, everything you talk about, I think, needs to be presented as, or at least, advocated for, like, as the patriotic imperatives that they are. You can't have a democracy and a country with this kind of this wealth gap, right? I mean, this upward immobility. We used to be the most
unequal society on earth now.
Yeah, it's an embarrassment. Shouldn't we be better than that? And it's all greed. That's it. It comes down to greed. And especially when, and I think we've talked about this before because it's one of my bugaboos about healthcare in the country, that we don't, they always talk about how, when Joe Biden, for example, he'll say, we're Americans, we can do anything, except that, I guess, except have a healthcare system that doesn't needlessly kill 35,000 Americans every year and bankrupt millions.
If he can get a good enough majority in the House and Senate, I think so. There.
I think that's what I hope. I think that Biden wants to be remembered like FDR. I think he sees, this is his moment. This is his legacy. He doesn't want to be Reagan. Or, he knows he wants to be somebody who, is remembered like FDR, who really did make a difference because people are still living above the poverty line because of FDR. And, the whole whitewashing of Reagan's, his legacy. I mean, the whole Reagan legacy project and all that. It's sickening. They who were you talking about recently? They were talking about Reagan. Well, I don't know why. Maybe it was because of the Queen or something. I don't know. Whatever. They were bringing up Reagan and talking about how he's. Oh yeah, it was about something with the. Oh yeah, when Gorbachev died, they did this whole thing about Gorbachev on the corporate media, and it began with Reagan. And, young people don't know the real history. Reagan was a horror show. He wanted to make ketchup a vegetable.
They also don't know the real history of Gorbachev. Gorbachev, when he was trying to transform Russia into a modern democracy, was using Sweden as his role model. And he said this out loud. He said that it would be better, because people in Russia had free housing, free food, free health care, free education, that, to make a less radical transition to democracy, they should adopt the model of Sweden so that everybody had free health care, everybody had free education, housing was subsidized, at least for low-income people. Right. He thought that would be the best transition. But in 1991, when him and Yeltsin basically went to the International Monetary Fund and the United States and said, we need $1 trillion loan to make this thing happen, the IMF and George Herbert Walker Bush said, you're going to oppose neoliberalism or we're not going to give you the money. That's why we have Putin. That's why you've got an oligarch and a semi-dictatorship in Russia. It was not what Gorbachev wanted. And he died, horrified by what happened.
Right. Well, yeah, that's terrible, really. And this is the real history, and people just don't know it. That's right. Reagan. Whenever I have to fly to Washington, I'm like Reagan National Airport. I want to puke, really, because they are giving this impression that he's, this wonderful, great president. When
the only people, I lived in D.C. for 7 years, and the only people in D.C. who refer to that airport as the Reagan Airport are Republicans. Everybody else calls it national. Oh,
okay. Well, now
nobody wants to say his name.
I know. Ugh, really? Because it's just it's such a the whole. It's like what they do with with Trump or anybody else. They just try to rehab this, because as far as Reagan is concerned, before FDR was even cold in the ground, they were looking for somebody who could be him, be the Republican FDR, and they found it in Reagan. And I think at the time, the American people, they helped, I think, the dismantling of the New Deal. A lot of our problems can be traced to racism. It really does come down to that in this country. And in my opinion, I mean, with more, that's all the more reason we need to have universal health care and education for all and policies that work for everyone, because that's how we're going to unify this country, too. It's about time we start looking at ourselves and saying, yeah, we don't leave anybody behind, like for real. We don't leave you behind on the battlefield. We don't leave you behind on the battlefield of war. We don't leave you behind on the battlefield of sickness, of ignorance, of homelessness. I mean, wouldn't that, everything that you were saying there with, and I'm thinking of, as how we can fix this thing. I think, wouldn't that be great? It would be so beautiful to have a country like that actually puts those 11 points, what was it, into practice from Hamilton. And this is how, I mean, that's what Democrats have to do. And, what's that?
Bring back our prosperity.
Exactly. And for patriotism, it really is. It is a patriotic imperative to do these things because, otherwise, I believe we will be torn apart. This country is definitely at a crossroads. There's no getting around that. We either can go to a very dark place, as you know, as somebody who knows history. I mean, we really have a choice here. We can go and rebuild in a way that works for everybody, or, I mean, there's more pain ahead. I hope not, though. But anyway, what's your next book?
Says there is.
Yes, I know. Well, when they raided Mar-a-Lago, I felt like I was a kid on Christmas Eve. So maybe when they arrest him, they'll be dancing in the streets, So that'll be a step in the right direction. But what are you working on now? You have another book in the queue, Thom?
Yeah, the next book will be The Hidden History of American Democracy, and
that's great.
It'll be out in the spring. And I've been living in the brain of Ben Franklin and the Iroquois, and
that's awesome.
Philosophers.
We need that. We need all these books, Thom. We really do. And I hope I hope everybody buys this book, but also your whole series. And it's so they're easy reads and they're incredibly palatable. And I just can't wait for the next one too. The Hidden History of American Democracy. That's something. Because the other thing, I mean, as far as that's concerned, because it drives me up a wall, Republicans rewriting the history of this country, constantly talking about how we're born out of Judeo-Christian whatever. We were not. So
no, we're the first secular country in the history of the modern world.
Right. So that's
first secular republic.
We should be proud of that and not, try to make us just like everybody. What's that?
The founders are very proud of it.
Exactly. I mean, we were born out of the liberal age of enlightenment, not out of, I don't know. Why would the founders have a revolution just to create another country like every other country, So, well, thank you, Thom, for coming on Tarabuster, as always. And it's always awesome to talk to you. And I feel like I'm in the presence of a master. So, and thank you.
Thank you. Sure. It's great talking with you, and thanks again for inviting me on the program.
Oh, of course, anytime. I'm looking forward to your next book.
Great. Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye-bye, guys.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All righty, everybody. Thom Hartmann. All right, how did everybody like that? On the chat? Was that good? How's everybody doing? The founders were Unitarians and deists. Yeah, Thom is great. I mean, he comes on this show, this stinky ass show. I mean, that's good. Well, I shouldn't do that. I'm, you know, what do you call it? I'm not trying to insult. Somebody said to me once, because when I put the show down, I'm putting down the listeners. I'm only doing it because of my own self-esteem issues. So it's not about you. It's about. But I hear you. I heard that, and I apologize for slipping up there. So yeah, not this stinky ass show. This is a great show. This is a great show. It is. Hold on, I got a drink. He always makes me nervous, you know. It's like talking to, I don't know, somebody you really admire. I don't know. You want them to like you. You want them to think you're cool. You want them to... Yeah, this show has the most cats. It's true. Thank you, Haiku. Haiku says Thom knows you get it. That's why he comes on. Yes, that's great. He does the show a great favor coming on. It gives it more cred, frankly. And I can't believe how he works. My God, I gotta work like that. I'm complaining about having 2 salty and spicy kittens in my bedroom. You know, I really gotta do. What am I gonna do? Look, now I'm putting myself down again in my head. I really want to write 1 book, at least. He's got like 20. But his books, I'm not kidding. I've read every single one of them, so I am not just saying this. This is a Sunday afternoon read. You want to get a little bit of history? Pick up... Well, this is a good one because there's a lot of stuff in this book too that I didn't know, which always pleases me because I think I know everything. So I didn't know the history of Mises and Nazism. I didn't know that. So, but I'm really looking forward to the next one. But this is an important book. The Hidden History of Neoliberalism, because people aren't really talking about neoliberalism. It's like we were saying, it's almost like it is ubiquitous with or synonymous with democracy. Whenever it is challenged, what do conservatives say? Well, you don't like freedom? What are you, a socialist? You don't like freedom, right? So, we can see that, Tara. No need to try. Just be. I'm trying. Did I not do good? Did I not do good on the show? I thought I did pretty good. I don't know. I didn't feel. I think, you know what it is too? He also, you got to think about this. When he's talking to me, he's been talking all damn day. All damn day. So, you know, he must be tired. He gets tired. I know I'm tired. Tired of being admired. No, that's from Blazing Saddles. Tired of being admired. Tired of love uninspired. Yes, I thought it was very good, Haiku says. Thank you, Haiku. Okay, good. Yeah, I thought it was good. It was one of the better ones. I you know what it is too with Thom. I feel like he doesn't. He could let me go on, and I will. So, which is, hey, he did. That's fine. It's better than the first time he was on when I didn't let him get a word in edgewise. So, but that was only because I was like nervous, and he wasn't breaking in, you know, and I just kept talking. That's probably why he wasn't breaking in. So. And, and I really appreciate the subject, too. So I'm not just saying that. you guys should check the book out. Get it from the library if you have to too. But it's incredibly important, and it will arm you for the battles ahead. And I believe that. I believe that's why, you're funny. Play Dave, much improvement. Thank you guys. You guys are great. I'm getting better all the time. Maybe one day I won't suck. No, I'm only kidding. I don't suck. It's fine. All right. See, I'm not even drinking coffee tonight. That's how much my stomach is bothering me. That's okay. I feel bad now. I mean, I feel better now. Yes. Winston says it is a subject that is important for today. Indeed. Yep, it is. Because it's like we're saying, and like we were saying with Tom, that it's almost the way it is presented as if it is the way it's supposed to be. Of course, we like this. Of course, we want to have this kind of, CEO and lowest paid worker income disparity, because that's freedom. And it's not. It's actually the opposite of freedom. It is part of it is oligarchy, frankly. So, and why we're swirling the bowl. Yeah, we're swirling the bowl. This country, and it sucks. And you know what? The other thing I wanted to say, but I forgot. But or maybe we did say something about it. But how people are bamboozled by the fiction about it, like even people who work for a living. If you talk about taxing the rich, they're saying they will pipe up about how they're against it because they've been propagandized, like all the idiots at the Trump rally. All right, let's go back to the Trump rally, since we're talking about it, because this clip was not even halfway done. Oh, look. Wait. Shit. Hold on. I know how the show works. Look at this shit. Look at the lower third on Newsmax. Virginia governor wants new transgender student policy. Oh my God. No, they're talking about, it's probably something to target transgender students. Why is that on your crawl, Newsmax? Because why? Well, because you're so loving and caring. You just want to make America great, right? By targeting minority groups, by targeting people who you just leave people the fuck alone. Shut your mouth. Get your big filthy Republican big government nose out of people's lives. Shut up. I saw this thing. Where the hell did I see this? About this transgendered young boy now who was with her. Well, her. Look at me. I'm misgendering this person already. Excuse me. This transgendered boy came out as transgender. That's what happened. And the school started to interrogate him, took him out of class to interrogate him, and then this young person wanted to kill himself. That's what you do to these youth. And the family, it was all because of it's one of these states that's targeting families who give their children gender affirming care. Is it anybody's business? They're trying to keep their child alive, you Unbelievable. But No, it's not. But you ever notice, though, and of course you do, they always go after the underdog, right? The unconnected, the people who are most vilified. They never stand up for anybody who is misunderstood, right? They never try to bring light to a situation. They never try to, alleviate confusion, right? They always try everything they can to separate, to divide, to target. It's sick. They are sick. Oh, God. All right. Well, speaking of sick, let's listen to this.
We are a nation that has weaponized its law enforcement against the opposing political party.
Can you believe it? It's weaponized law enforcement because he got fucking raided. Okay? Not even. They said, knock, knock. We're coming over. They gave them a heads up. They called ahead. They didn't even wear their FBI jackets. You know how you always see the FBI blazers or windbreakers? They didn't wear them. And they called Maramoron ahead and said, look, we're coming over to get these classified documents, you scumbags. Well, I don't know if they said that, but they called the head. And that's the truth. They give this guy so much credence, this dirtbag who doesn't deserve it. Now, imagine any one of us, if we shoved classified documents down our drawers and went home. You think they would go, hey, ring, ring. Hey, Tara, you got those classified documents that you smuggled out of their secure and guarded area? You got them? Can you, we're going to come over and get them, okay? Wait, in 30 minutes, that's cool? You're going to be there? Okay, fine, all right. You think so? Or would I be cool in my jets in some federal prison right now? No, not him. He's out there fanning out from sea to shining sea with all of his morons, activating his army of dupes, lying to them, just pouring poison into their empty heads. We're a nation that weaponizes its law enforcement. Oh, that's only weaponized. It's not weaponized when law enforcement is killing unarmed people who happen to have darker pigment, right? Pulling them over traffic stops. Excuse me, officer, I have a license to conceal carry. I'm just going to reach it. Boom, 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 and they're dead. Or pulling up on a 12-year-old playing with an air gun in a park and not even getting out of the car within 2 seconds, shooting them dead in the street, They have no problem with that. That's not weaponizing law enforcement. But when justice comes for them, when there's some kind of, there might be not even accountability, it's just the whiff of accountability. There's accountability in the air, the party of personal responsibility. When there's responsibility to be had, that's when it's being weaponized.
Party like never, ever before.
Oh, my God.
We've got a Federal Bureau of Investigation that won't allow bad election-changing facts to be presented to the public.
Unbelievable. Bullshit. Who? Now, it's the FBI that is preventing bad election-changing facts from being presented to the public. Bullshit. Why is this fucker walking around? In what sane world would this parasite, this filthy criminal parasite, be allowed to continue to fester out there, sickening everything it touches? How are we going to survive? with this pig. No offense to pigs. I'm sorry. He's not a pig. I mean, pigs are good. Who are these? Look at all these white fucking idiots. And then this guy over here, this Blacks for Trump guy. My God, this blockhead over here. What's these old dudes with the berets? Shame on you. Shame on you, you filthy racists. They're all racist, even the Blacks for Trump guy. Are you kidding me? That's what it comes down to.
Hunter Biden's laptop.
Wait. I'm sorry. I'll rewind it.
Changing facts to be presented to the public, where Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation when they knew it wasn't.
What? Does that make sense? What? Wait. Let's break this down. And now, remember, there's the music underneath it. Well, this very flighty, angelic music. So, let's see. Somebody put a lower third or subtitles here. Taiwan. Okay, let's see. Let's just read it. And China with Taiwan this next. We are a nation that has weaponized its law enforcement against the opposing political party like never before. We've got a Federal Bureau of Investigation that won't allow bad, period, election-changing facts to be presented to the public. Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation, and when they knew it, wasn't, and the department... I'm reading that verbatim, everyone. Oh my God.
Where Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation when they knew it wasn't.
Come on. What are you doing there, dummies? Are you fucking dense? Are you dumb? Are you that stupid? Are you that dumb? What is wrong with you? Where did you go wrong? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take the mic at that rally, and I want to have an intervention with these idiots. But they're a lost cause, so forget it. They're smoking that pipe. That smaller than average pipe.
And a Department of Justice that refuses to investigate egregious acts of voting irregularities and fraud. And we have a president who is cognitively impaired.
Right. I'm so sick of that, too. As somebody whose father was cognitively impaired, my father had Alzheimer's. Joe Biden doesn't have Alzheimer's, and they know it. It's just another example of how much they hate this fucking country. If you want to attack Joe Biden, you don't like his policies, then talk about that. Talk about the facts, the truth, right? But they can't. So they make shit up. They attack the president for being cognitively impaired when the con man, he stands up there going on a litany of greatest hits of Hunter Biden's laptop to lock her up. He's not cognitively impaired, though, right? The guy who, come on, he couldn't even. There's montages of him bumbling and fumbling around like an idiot. And talk about Joe Biden. Joe Biden gave a 2-hour press conference This idiot couldn't stand up there for 2 minutes and take the heat. Fucking morons. That really drives me crazy because it betrays their ugliness. Attack him for reality. You don't like him? I don't have to make shit up about Trump. Everything is real. He's a disgusting con man. He's a filthy, tax cheating, draft dodging, dictator envying, less vote getting, sexual predator, fake university peddling, fake vitamin pushing con man who received fewer votes. Twice. Right? So I don't have to make anything up about him. I don't like him. I never did. He was barely a clown here in New York. We all knew he was a disco prowling freak, a grifter, a carnival barker. That's all. We knew that. We knew he was a greedy grifter. You don't make him the president because you saw he played a successful businessman on reality TV. You dummies. You dummies. Why are you holding up your fingers? Why don't you just go the full Nazi salute? What's with the fingers? And then somebody sent around this picture of Joe Biden posing with some, I guess, member of the public, a woman. They had their arms around each other. And it looked like a normal photo, you take with somebody. And somebody tweets it out saying how, I'm not even, this is weird. I don't even get this affectionate with my father. My own father or something like that. But they're talking about, of course they don't understand. They're confused. That's human warmth. It's very confusing to them. They think, wait, I'm just looking for this picture, I mean. Trump, and that reminded me of this picture of Donald Trump and Trump Jr. Let's see. I'll find it. I think we showed it on the show once. Let's see. Ugh. With the fucking thumbs up. Like two douchebags. What's with the thumbs up? It's like that. Let's pretend we're fun-loving humans. Is that what they're going with? Let's see. I think it was his birthday too. That's why. Trump Jr. Come on. I found it the other day. Now I can't find it. I hate when I do this. It's okay, right? You guys won't leave me, even though I can't do a show that doesn't have gaps like this in it. What the fuck? I tweet shit out sometimes just so I'll have it. And I can never find it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Wait a minute. We are a country that has Hunter Biden's laptop and people actually giving thumbs down. That would never, ever happen if I were president. We have an FBI that actually comes into your house and takes the classified documents you steal. That would never happen if I were president, because I would just keep stealing. Oh yeah, here it is. Hi, Junior. Come on up. Here he comes. Here comes Junior. Okay, here. So this is the tweet. I don't even hug my own father like that. It's just weird. What's so weird? Am I not seeing something here that's supposed to be weird? It's a president and somebody who likes him. It's just say, hey, take a photo with me, and you take a photo. It's a nice little it's human. It's human warmth. And that's weird though, right? But this ain't weird. This is normal on your birthday. That's what you do. I think it was it was one of their birthdays. It was either the son's or the pustule senior. And that's how you stand next to your dad on your birthday. You're so affectionate. No, that's not weird. Thumbs up. Not touching, standing there like with these fake plastic smiles and dead eyes. Phony grin plastered across your grifting face. That cheesy used car salesman smile. Thumbs up. What are you giving a thumbs up for? What is thumbs up? Thumbs up your ass? What? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up your ass. Thumbs up your nose. Why? What is the thumbs up? So warmth, right? You can just feel the warmth of the father-son love here. So weird. I don't even hug my own father. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. That doesn't surprise me at all that you don't hug your father with warmth and humanity. Why would you? You're barely human. Look at your standard bearer. What do you say? Because the con man, a pustule is going to be a pustule. A parasite's going to be a parasite. Fish is going to swim. Birds are going to fly. A con man's going to con. But you don't have to be in the cult. You have every reason not to be in the cult. Oh yeah, here's the graphic I was telling you about. Look at this shit. Awaiting Donald Trump's Save America rally. Listen to this shit. What's with the music? Somebody had to make this graphic, which makes me feel very sad for them. Someone had to put that together. They had to cut his I'm sorry, his pustule body out. They had to design it. They had to put some text together. And of course, it sucks. It's pretty disgusting. They had to get that music. What kind of music should we use? Get the most angelic, ephemeral music right out of the rapture. Find it. Find us something that makes us want to rapture the fuck out of here already. I wish they would. Wouldn't that be great? Just rapture out of here with your con man. Look at this. And so that's the other thing. I saw this. It's proud, semi-fascist, ultra-MAGA American. They're actually selling shirts they're selling merch that says they're proud semi-fascists. When they're so stupid and America hating that they don't realize. They don't even realize what poison they are. They're the lost cause. That's the lost cause. They're still fighting the lost cause. And it will never stop. That's why there's no hope for them. Right? There's no hope. I'm sorry if I missed any super chats while I was talking to Tom. I know, Terry Taylor with the vomit emoji. Yeah, it is bizarre. And how many people doubt what I say? In the not too distant future, those who speak, let me see. How do I put this? Those who supported the con man will only speak of it in shamed whispers. You could take that to the bank. Unlike everything else that Trump is involved in, you can take that to the bank. Unlike all the other grifts, take it to the bank. I wonder how King Charles III still feels about Trump. Why did he, did he say something about Trump? That he liked him? No. They hated him when he was there. He was a joke. What an embarrassment when he was there. He's walking in front of the Queen. Everybody's like, oh, that's against protocol to walk in front of the Queen. It's also a douchebag move that you walk in front of a 90-something-year-old woman like that, and you make her wait. That's the other thing. He made her wait. Well, because why? He had to shove some other some greasy carcass down his gullet? Some carcass smothered in ketchup? Disgusting. And then he walks in front of her. And everybody's like, well, that is against protocol. You never walk in front of the Queen. Yeah, but it's also, you're a dick. You're being a dick. You're walking in front of an elderly woman, a 90-something-year-old woman who's standing there waiting for your ass. Ugh, what a pig. No offense to pigs. It's unreal. How anybody ever, how do they go to this rally? It is baffling. It's all, that takes all types, right? One would never think that over 900 people would commit suicide with Jim Jones, but there they went. But there they did. You could find dumbasses everywhere. It's crazy. There's a lot of them here that have power, and they're being enabled. Okay, let's see. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, a couple of things. What time is it? In good news, speaking of, after a 64-day strike, Boston Starbucks workers declare victory. Okay, that's good. When workers join together, they can accomplish anything. This is from Common Dreams, Wilkins. Progressive politicians and activists on Wednesday congratulated unionized workers at a Boston Starbucks who declared victory after a historic 64-day strike. And that's only the beginning. All you need are a few of these wins, and it will catch on. The declaration by members of Boston Starbucks workers said Starbucks agreed to core demands, including rescinding arbitrary minimum availability requirements and replacing a store manager accused of cutting hours, understaffing shifts, and perpetuating harmful and offensive rhetoric with respect to race, gender, and orientation of both our partners and guests. Oh, well, that sounds wonderful. That sounds, he should get a job in the Republican National Committee. Working Mass reports that Spencer Costigan, a striking shift manager at the store, said, "I want it to be known that this is a win for workers everywhere. We're setting precedents. We're making known the power that unions have. We want to take a moment and thank every single person who took the time to join us on the picket line, talk to a striking worker, bring us food or water, or donate to our strike fund, sign our petitions, and support us every step of the way." That's what we need to do. I wasn't aware of these guys on strike, but hopefully in the future I'll be able to share some of their links or of other workers on strike to keep them going. Some of those who joined the workers on the strike line or who voiced support for their action and cheered their victory. Let me congratulate the Starbucks workers in Boston who won their 64-day strike for fair schedules and decent working conditions, says U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders. When workers stand together and fight for justice, there's nothing they cannot accomplish. I was proud to have stood on the picket line with them. Then, of course, Ayanna Pressley tweeted, "Congratulations to the organizers and this major victory for workers' justice." That's great. Hailing Boston's huge victory, Senator Ed Markey, Democrat of Massachusetts, said on Twitter that this is the power of the picket line and the power of the people. Massachusetts State Rep Mike Connolly, a Democratic socialist, tweeted that when we fight, we win. That's right. We stick together, we win. It is true. Wednesday's win comes less than a week after Starbucks union-busting management called in police to menace the strikers. Isn't that nice? Well, it's nothing, new day, same old tactics. For the first time since the strike began, this is from Workers' World, on July 18th, cops were brought in to threaten arrest on the pretext of alleged trespassing. A Boston Police Department captain and a special operations SWAT squad sporting bulletproof vests and driving arrest warrants arrived to enforce Starbucks' global union avoidance and infamous union-busting law firm Littler Mendelssohn's menacing of the union. Strikers and supporters from throughout Greater Boston, including a large contingent of the 1-month-old Boston University Graduate Students Union, massed in defiance on the strike line to confront the corporate-instigated police attack. What the F else is new? And that's why we have to stick together. We stick together, we win. A spokesperson for Starbucks said in a statement that no negotiations occurred with the striking workers whose return was unconditional, and that the company favors moving forward with scheduling collective bargaining sessions with Workers United representatives. The Boston strike occurred during a period of rapid unionization by Starbucks workers around the United States. Employees in more than 200 of the company's U.S. locations voted to unionize since last December. That's good. Keep it going, keep it going. Another recently unionized Massachusetts Starbucks in Watertown staged a week-long strike earlier this month over problems with a new manager, including staffing issues for allegedly allowing staff members to be openly transphobic and sexist. Oh, well, what else is... I bet you're there just trying to make America great. Right? That's all. Make America great by being a big douche to other people. And I don't understand people like that. You don't understand trans people. If that's your problem. Maybe you are trans inside. You just don't have the courage to live an authentic life, and so that's why you lash out. That's another thing. But if it is that you just don't get it, you don't have to get it. Fuck off. Fuck off and go away. That's it. Right? It's not, I don't get it. Then shut your filthy hole. That's it. That's all you got to do. If you don't understand, then ask, maybe. Don't be a dick about it. But it's too much. They can't. Chin scratch is coming up. Yes, very true, guys. Here's Tara Jr. Everybody, sit. Not you, the cat. Here we go. I'm afraid the camera's gonna go off the chain. Alrighty. Let's see. Where's the other thing? Where is that? I'm losing you. We're losing you. I see a lot of people popping off the channel. They don't like this. They don't like this show for some reason tonight. It's a little rambly, I know. It was good. We had Thom Hartmann on, and then I'm not feeling my full Tarabuster self. I've been not well lately. Maybe, I don't know. Hopefully I won't drop dead in my bed and then I'll have 5 cats eating my face. That'd be great. Where's the other thing I wanted to talk about before? Well, a couple of things right before we went on air. Some good news. It's good. Court lifts the Mar-a-Lago probe hold. Yay! Because they don't have a leg to stand on. And the last show we talked about that woman, Eileen, whatever the hell, Cannon, the disgrace of a judge she's just on the government dole. That's what she is. She gets to pretend to be a judge and take a salary. She has no business being a judge. She has no more business being a judge than I do. So, is Thomas coming back on Tarabuster? I don't know. I hope so. Jabberwocky. I haven't heard from him in a while. He's not doing FYI Nation. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Here's from the Huffington Post. A federal appeals court has lifted a judge's hold on the Justice Department's ability to use classified records seized from former President Donald Trump's Florida estate. Yay. A federal appeals panel. Oh, they all must be witch hunters or something. Has lifted a judge's hold. A judge. That should be in quotes, really. This Eileen Cannon is a joke. If a Democratic judge, if Democrat dared push somebody like that forward as a judge, it would never happen. Could you imagine? That's the thing, that it's okay if you're a Republican. If it's okay when Republicans do it. The Democrats would never put somebody like that on the bench. They wouldn't dare. They go over above and beyond trying to find people who are more than qualified, that can't be even challenged or questioned. But, of course, the Republicans still do. And they have the nerve to question when they put unqualified people on the bench as, it's surprising when they're qualified. When they have a qualified person. All right, Junior. Ow, that's my hand. Jesus Christ, I'm sick of being bit. The ruling from a 3-judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit is a victory for the Justice Department and the American people, I might add, clearing the way for it to immediately resume its use of the documents as it evaluates whether to bring criminal charges in its investigation into the presence of top-secret records at Mar-a-Lago after the scumbag slithered out of the White House. God, will we see him go to jail? Well, anyway, the other good news today was that Attorney General Letitia James filed a suit against the grifters. All the grifters, the Trump family, the Trump crime family. I have to move this back. And maybe you saw, it was making the rounds for a little bit. What's his name? Bill Barr went on Fox News, Faux News, he complained. He was upset, because it was obviously a witch hunt, because Letitia James was going after the children. Where is it?
This is a political hit job. She grossly overreaches when she tries to drag the children into this. Yes, they had roles in the business, but this was his personal financial statement. It was prepared by the CFO. Accounting firms were involved in it. The children aren't going to know the details of that and be able, and nor are they expected in the real world to do their own due diligence and have it, reviewed independently. And so this to me looks like gross overreach, which I think is going to end up backfiring on them, because I think it will make people sympathetic.
Get out of here.
This is another example of people piling on because of Trump derangement.
Yeah, that's it. Piling on. It's time for the asshole to take some responsibility for his crimes. And just like Trump was the biggest single American loser taxpayer for the time that we saw his tax records, right? Somebody had to be the biggest loser. It was Trump. He lost more money than any other individual American taxpayer, and he declared a loss more than any other taxpayer. And I found it interesting that in Letitia James's press conference this morning, she mentioned how the con man valued one of his hovels as at a rate more than any other single or any other New York apartment was ever sold for. He's got, the greed. The greed is beyond measure. And you're telling me that the children, all these children in this Trump crime family, the Trump scam family, there's about, 12 people working at the Trump scam family, where they're all VPs and vice president of this and what I think even Trump Jr. Hold on, Donald Trump. But he's just a child. These are 40-year-old fucking people. Oh my God, I hate them. Oh my God. Oh, I just wanted. Who is he? Donald. I just wanted to see his official title in the Trump organization. Dem witch hunt. The children. So Donald Trump Jr. This bullshit dem witch hunt continues.
And what would you say to people who say, oh, I'm not going to bother to register to vote because my voice doesn't make a difference, or I'm just one person?
I say one name, Donald Trump. That should motivate you.
Yeah.
Up your ass and vote.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
Good.
I love it. He probably does already.
Good. Here's the thing. If you're not a criminal, what does she have on you? She brought the receipts. You can't just file a lawsuit like, Giuliani and bring nothing. Trust me, this is not going to be laughed out of court. Like the 60-something lawsuits that were dismissed about the election that wasn't stolen, dismissed with prejudice. She brought the receipts. She had the numbers. And it wasn't just her. There's a whole team of people going through the records. We know your game. We know your scam. You're a fucking bunch of grifters. That's your game. Yeah, that's the Trump organization. They are parasites. And not paying taxes? You're the so-called former president of the United States. That's you. You're not paying the price of admission to civilization. You want a free ride off our backs. That's what they're doing. You understand? Every tax dollar they cheat us out of. That's a veteran that doesn't get health care. That's a soldier that doesn't get body armor. That's a street that doesn't get paved. That's, the infrastructure of democracy. That's school books for children. But he doesn't want to pay that, because they want all the benefits. They want all of the benefits of civilization, but none of the responsibilities that we have to each other. That all falls on our shoulders. We got to carry not only ourselves, but him. And that little princess Ivanka, as she flies around with a $2 billion grift with the Saudis, getting Chinese patents. For what? So she can go to China and sell her cheap knockoff shoes? They bring nothing. They've never done a single thing for this world. Not a thing. Nothing. Zero. They've never had a decent idea in their head. And all they are they're nothing. They're parasites. They're the definition of parasites. And now they're sucking the blood out of the body politic, and they're trying to murder democracy. The bullshit dem witch hunt continues. This is all about politics, weaponizing her office to go after her political opponents. Who likes you? Nobody likes a crook. It's not about, so if we like you, we should let you get away with crimes. That's the way Republicans roll, right? If we like Trump, who could like them? Who likes them? Show me who you are, who you idolize, and I'll tell you everything about you. Jesus Christ. So people respond to him, cry harder, Junior. Still waiting for your explanation why Trump property valuation zoomed way up for loans and plunged way down for taxes on the same properties. Take all the time you need. Yeah, yelling at Tish James won't cut it. That's not going to fly in court. You're not going to be able to cry witch hunt. You're going to have to explain yourself. Who cares? Polls. Who cares? Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Letitia James just turned hump day into whoop-ass Wednesday. Tell it to the judge, asshole, says Bob Seska. Exactly. Tell it to the judge. I don't want to hear you whining. Oh, it's a witch hunt. They're just trying to get points. They're trying to whip up their base. Whip up? No, I want you to face the fucking music. I want you to stop stealing from the American people. And stop being a giant parasite that's never satisfied. There's never enough. Never enough blood, never enough money, right? Never enough decency, dignity, democracy. You can't take that. You can't take enough out of the American spirit. They won't stop until they kill this country. You get it? Unless we do something about them. If there's nothing to charge you with, then there's nothing to charge you with. If you were, as your brother said, he went on TV not too long ago saying that what did he say? They've lived amazingly clean lives. Bullshit. And so he goes and he's called to the deposition for this lawsuit and takes the fifth like 800 times. Well, what did Trump say about taking the fifth?
You see, the mob takes the fifth. If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment?
Your staff taking the Fifth Amendment, taking the fifth, so they're not prosecuted.
Fifth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Fifth Amendment. Horrible.
Horrible, isn't it? It's horrible.
Taking the fifth, I think it's disgraceful.
What happened? He pleaded the fifth, right? He pleaded the fifth.
Fifth Amendment. Fifth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Fifth Amendment. Horrible. Horrible. The mob takes the fifth. If you're innocent, why are you taking the Fifth Amendment?
Exactly. Explain yourself. Why are your properties less expensive when you file taxes and more expensive when you try to sell them? Why are you stealing from people? Why are you lying to people? That's in the family. That runs in the family. Not too long ago, where is this? Ivanka. And that's how they learned, Oh, it's the children going after the children. Yeah, because they're just like 10-year-olds. They're 10, 12, 13-year-old. They don't know what's going on. Well, except they have vice president or executive vice president, right? They could fly around and make deals with the Saudis. They don't know what's going on, though. Where is this? Ivanka and Donald Trump Jr. This is from ProPublica. When was this? Not too long ago, in 2017. Ivanka and Donald Trump Jr. were close to being charged with felony fraud. I don't know why. Again, they slipped the noose. New York prosecutors were preparing a case. Then the DA overruled his staff after visit from a top donor, otherwise known as Trump attorney Mark Kasowitz. So let's see. In the spring of 2012, Donald Trump's two eldest children, Ivanka and Donald Trump Jr., found themselves in a precarious legal position. For 2 years, prosecutors at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office had been building a criminal case against them for misleading prospective buyers of the units of Trump Soho, a hotel and condo development that was failing to sell. Despite the best efforts of the siblings' defense team, the case had not gone away. That's all, they just drag it out until hopefully you get bored, I guess, and you allow them to continue to steal. An indictment seemed like a real possibility. The evidence included emails from the Trumps making it clear that they were aware they were using inflated figures about how well the condos were selling to lure buyers. Yeah, that's called fraud. In one email, according to 4 people who have seen it, the Trumps discussed how to coordinate false information that they had given to prospective buyers. In another, according to a person who read the emails, they worried that a reporter might be on to them. These fuckers should have been charged. In yet another, Donald Trump Jr. spoke reassuringly to a broker who was concerned about the false statements. Well, you never have integrity when you're working with the Trumps. That always is a bit inconvenient. Saying that nobody would ever find out because the only people on the email chain or in the Trump organization who knew about the deception, according to a person who saw the email. That's what he said. They were the only people who knew. There was no doubt that the Trump children approved of, knew of, agreed to, and intentionally inflated the numbers to make more sales. One person who saw the emails told us they knew it was wrong. In 2010, when the Major Economic Crimes Bureau of the DA's office opened an investigation into the siblings, the Trump organization hired several top-notch New York criminal defense lawyers to represent the two scumbags. These attorneys had met with prosecutors in the Bureau several times. They conceded that their clients had made exaggerated claims, but argued that the overstatements didn't amount to criminal misconduct. After all, it's them. It's the Trumps. Still, the case dragged on. In a meeting with the defense team, Donald Trump Sr. expressed frustration that the investigation had not been closed. I'm Trump. How's this even a thing that I'm not allowed to steal and lie to people? Soon after his longtime personal lawyer, Mark Kasowitz, entered the case. Kasowitz, who had by then been the elder Trump's attorney for a decade, is primarily a civil litigator with little experience in criminal matters. But in 2012, Kasowitz donated $25,000 to the re-election campaign of Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr., making Kasowitz one of Vance's largest donors. Kasowitz decided to bypass the lower-level prosecutors and went directly to Vance to ask that the investigation be dropped. Then, on May 16, 2012, Kasowitz visited Vance's office at 1 Hogan Place in downtown Manhattan, a faded edifice made famous by the television show Law and Order. Dan Alfonso, the chief assistant district attorney, and Adam Kaufman, the chief of the investigative division, were also at the meeting, but no one from the Major Economic Crimes Bureau attended. Kasowitz did not introduce any new arguments or facts during the session. He simply repeated the arguments that the other defense lawyers had been making for months. Ultimately, Vance overruled his own prosecutors. 3 months after the meeting, he told them to drop the case. Kasowitz subsequently boasted to colleagues about representing the Trump children. According to 2 people, he said that the case was really dangerous. One person said that it was amazing I got them off. Fuckers. Fuck them. Vance defended his decision. I did not at the time believe beyond a reasonable doubt that the crime had been committed, or a crime. I had to make a call, and I made a call, and I think I made the right call. Oh, I hate these people. Somebody help me. Just before the 2012 meeting, Vance's campaign had returned Kazowitz's contribution. Yeah, because it was looking unseemly in the press. But less than 6 months after the DA's office dropped the case, Kazowitz made an even larger donation. You see? Hopefully then nobody's paying attention, and raised more from others, eventually totaling more than $50,000. After being asked about the donations as part of a reporting for this article, Vance said he now plans to give it back. To give back the second contribution. Oh, these fucking people. Oh my God, help us. Can you believe where we live? Can somebody please arrest him now? All right, listen up, guys. Guys. I'm going to go lay down. That's going to be the end of the show right now. And I want to thank you all for hanging out tonight and hanging out with Thom Hartmann. I want to thank Thom Hartmann for coming on the show. I'm sure he's not watching this part of the show, but I'm sure he's never even watched the show. Or maybe, I don't know what I know. We will have a show on Friday. In the meantime, I got to get some rest. Hopefully I'll feel better. And we will have another guest next Wednesday. And his name is Tony Brasnos. I got to get the pronunciation right. And he wrote a book, and he's coming on the show, and it's about immigration. I'm not doing him justice right now. I'm blaming it on my not feeling 100%. I got to get all my ducks in a row. But just a little tease. We will have another conversation with an author on Wednesday coming up. But before that, we will meet together. We will meet again. Like strangers in the night. Now I got to go and feed 2 little kitties who hate me. And 3 who love me. Okay. 3 out of 5 ain't bad. So, I'm gonna take attendance on Friday. So tell everybody to hang out. Hopefully, I'll be able to. What I'll do, maybe hopefully tomorrow, I'll cut that Thom Hartmann video into its own thing. And post that too. Why not? All right, my friends, listen up. Thank you so much. If you can become a patron, please do at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. Tell your friends. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had a new patron in a while. We've had some patrons, take a hike. I don't know. I try not to take it personally, but it is hard. I don't know. Whatever. You keep going. Keep on going. I got so much more work that has to be done until we sleep. I wish I could be like Thom Hartmann. I really do. And I mean, write a book a night or something. Or a day. I don't know how he does it. All right, listen, guys, thank you, Winston. That's very kind of you. Winston says, great show, Tara. Thank you, Winston, for hanging out. Thank you all. Thank you to the super chatters and all the moderators, Haiku and Jim. Remember, Remember what I tell you. Maybe I'll. Oh yeah, we also have the Discord page. Maybe I'll post some pictures of Salty and Spicy on the Discord page. That's right. Haiku said he writes an hour a day. You're right. He does. Every day, he makes an appointment with himself to write. Right. I remember him saying that. You're right. Hi, Trucker John. Nice to see you there, Trucker. Trucker John has his own channel. Should post your link here, Trucker. I've subscribed. Make sure you do too, guys. We stick together, we win. All right, my friends. Thank you, Terry Taylor. That is very nice. Yes, great show, Tara dear. I share you all the time. I really appreciate that. We will win. We will. We will. I'll feel better soon, hopefully. And, yeah, because you know what? There's so much work to do. Hi, Trucker. We are on the right side of history. We are on the right side of decency, dignity, and democracy. I want to thank you all. Please, thank you for hanging out. Thank Thom Hartmann for coming on the show. And we stick together, we win. My name is Tara Devlin, and I will see you very soon.